Hey monkeys, we're back. You are watching Guitar Quackery Live. I was gonna do something else, but now I'm doing something else instead. Yeah, man. We need to be flexible. So, Guitar Quackery Live is this channel, which is the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. How about that? You're watching me live as I'm repairing a guitar. Oh, not really. I'm repairing the truss rod, or maybe just the truss rod nut of a guitar, of a bass guitar, jazz bass, Fender Jazz Bass. So, the truss rod isn't working. It seems to be maxed out, but we don't really know what is internally wrong with the truss rod without doing x-rays or something, right? I am trying to repair the truss rod nut because I did notice that it's clogged up. There was a lot of debris inside, and maybe that's why I couldn't tighten it anymore. I don't know. So this is an attempt worth doing, because if this works out, I don't need to make a new truss rod nut. I soaked it in WD-40 for an hour or two, and I already cleaned up some of it before soaking it. There was a live stream about that. So this is now WD-40. I can use it for something else. And now, in the previous live stream, in this series, I made this little tool from a screw. Now this is a screw size 1024. So it's not metric, it's in inches, 1024 screw size. And I'm going to show you here, just in case you missed the previous live stream, what this tool is. So here, through the microscope, you can see it's a screw with a groove cut on both sides. Okay, and this is now a tool to clean up the internal screws of a nut. Okay, now I previously attempted to use a tap. A tap is a tool that cuts the threads, and I have many taps. I just found that I actually have this set of 3 taps of the correct size. So why is it a set? Well, if we look at the 3 screws that are, the 3 taps that are included in the set, we will see that one of them is flat at the tip, one of them is tapered, and one of them is in between. So let me show you this. This is what we see. So this one is called the bottoming tap, right? It cuts almost all the way to the bottom. This one is good to start a cut. Then this one to cut a little deeper. And then if you need to go to the bottom of a hole, you use this one. And this one is a useful one when you, in fact, need to fabricate a new nut, because you can't cut all the way through because you need this space for the wrench. Okay? So I have this set of taps because I made these kind of nuts before. All right? And I just discovered that I actually had it in this shop here. I need to check something on my computer because I'm running on battery Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so now the first thing that I will do is, since this has been soaking for a while in WD-40, I am going to take my cleaning tool and just make sure I clean out all the debris. Okay, just like that. So you can see how this is going to be scraping on the inside. And I can feel a little bit of a resistance. You know, I feel that maybe I need to put a little more WD-40 just to soften up that junk. Now it feels very smooth, actually. Look at that. Yeah, that's good. And I also have a few brushes here. You know, this might be the best brush for this because once I remove the screw, there's stuff stuck on it, and we want to clean it before we use it again. So a little bit of so I have WD-40 here, but I think I need to square it out of the WD-40, right? Formula WD-40. So just a little bit. It already feels smoother. So I think this is very promising because if I don't need to make a new truss rod knot, obviously that would be my preference. Much better. So I'll keep doing this a few times. Oh, look at that. It's so smooth. I can actually just roll it now. And as I said in the previous live stream, WD-40 is not a lubricant. So we actually want to clean it out and put an actual lubricant in its place. The lubricant I'm going to use is simply Vaseline. Petroleum jelly. It's also used for other things sometimes. Look at that. So, you see how smooth? Almost completely smooth. So I'm confident that this will work much better Now, is the truss rod still maxed out a little bit? I don't know. Maybe I was just not able to tighten it because the threads were clogged up. That's a possibility. And we also are not able to find a replacement truss rod not of this size. This is 7/8 of an inch long. Now they sell 1 inch long. So that's frustrating. So as you can see, this truss rod nut is all rusty. So I don't know, maybe the base was kept in high humidity. And look, now it looks much cleaner on the inside than I remember seeing before. Much cleaner. If you watch the previous live streams, you will see the difference, okay? So this is very, very good now. I am going to also take one of the taps. So I'm going to take this one, the bottoming tap, which is on this side. And now I'm going to try to insert the tap. I didn't want to force the tap prior to cleanup, although taps can be used for cleanup. But you got to remember that the tap is a cutting tool, and especially if it's the one with the wedge. So with the taper, which is a wedge is a simple machine. So that can produce some forces through leverage, and then you get cross threading, and the tap can cut new threads in the wrong places. So yeah, I don't want to overdo it with the tap, to be honest with you, because once again, I don't want to be cutting anything. I don't want to be removing any of the material. But this already felt better than the first time I tried with the tap. First time I tried with the tap, it felt like it was not even the right tap size. And now you can see how smoothly this turns. A little bit of junk came out. So what I think I want to do is put some more WD-40 here and just rattle it. Okay. WD-40 is pretty cheap. I even have an ultrasonic cleaner. I don't think this will be necessary. This is already good. I think I got tweezers here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that, even smoother. So this is now completely cleaned up. It's amazing. You can, I think you can clearly see this. Let me zoom in here. Maybe like this I show you. Okay, so watch this. Very smooth all the way. And now look at that. This is as smooth as this is going to get, I think. So, so now I just let it. It's already drained. I don't think I need to drain it anymore, but I was going to say I'll let it drain and then put some lubricant. We don't need this. We don't need this. Okay, now I'll put the bass on the bench. And I'm going to tune the bass to pitch and try to adjust the truss rod. Let's see. And if it works, I won't need to make a new truss rod nut. And now that I made this tool, I am simply going to keep this tool for the future. This is going to be a useful tool. So here it is. Yeah. So if this works, I am going to simply tune the bass, adjust the truss rod, and then do what's called a stress test. Now, a stress test is something that basically I just let it sit for a few days, and then I take a look at it after a few days just to see if anything changed. And usually it does settle a little bit, so that's normal. Because now the bass has had a humongous upbow for a few years, that's my understanding. Oh, did I even send this link? I forgot to send this link to the customer. Sorry about that. Ooh, yeah, so he is going to get this link now. 17, almost 18 minutes into this live stream. Okay, and he can watch the replay. Bye. Not a big deal. Now, this is not really the moment of truth, but it's kind of the moment of half-truth. We'll see. I will be able to determine if there's an improvement. The bass is right here. It's a jazz bass, Fender. The strings are loose. Let me close the case. The strings that are on the bass now are just sacrificial strings. Those are old strings that I saved from another instrument that I worked on. Bass strings are expensive, so it's not too difficult to rewind them, to reinstall them on a bass. So I do save, sometimes I save bass strings for these experiments. Yeah, I can't remember if this has somewhat easy access to the truss rod, which is adjusted at the heel of the neck. So let me just remove these screws. They're not screwed in all the way. Vintage spec. Difficult adjustment. Why? People want vintage spec, so. I do charge more to adjust it at the heel, because it takes more time. So sometimes you can access it with the, what is it, 3/8, I think? No, 3/16. Yeah, so this one is accessible. Look at that, that's good. All right. So now can I, so the nut is accessible with the truss rod wrench, but I cannot place it inside. So I am going to have to release the neck. And I did not forget, I do need to lubricate it. But I need to release the neck a little bit to insert it inside. I do want to finish this instrument before the end of this month, because it's been here for a while and it required some extra work. Yeah, that's good. So lubricant is just going to be the Vaseline. Also known as petroleum jelly. Yeah, Vaseline is just the name of the brand name, right? Or is it Johnson & Johnson that makes Vaseline? I don't know. There's a price tag here. Okay, I'll figure this out later. And it's, I guess, good for the skin. I don't know. That's what they tell us in the commercial. Yeah, so this is the Fender 3/16 truss rod wrench. And here we just look at that. All right. Very smooth, nice and smooth. I can tighten it a little bit because it's going to have to be tightened anyway. And now I tighten the neck. As you can see, I'm not using a power tool for the neck pocket. And I didn't remove the screws all the way either. Okay, that's good. Let's see if it's adjustable from here. It is. Look at that. Okay, cool. Now, oh, I can't put this back on just yet, right? Because I need to adjust it. So sometimes you need to remove the entire neck, or at least release it to adjust it. And you know, you got to release the string tension and all that, which is quite annoying. This bass was dropped off without any strings on. So in general, guitar technicians don't like to see that because we don't know anything until we put the strings on. Okay, let me look at the neck just briefly. I can't tell yet because, you know, we're not at full tension yet. I'm not going to tune it to full tension just yet. I know you don't hear anything. I can barely hear anything either. It looks better. So this is promising. Let me see if I can, if it feels like I can put more tension. Yeah, look at that. All right. So now it's time to start taking some measurements. So because the neck had been sitting without strings on for God knows how many years, and when we did put strings on, it had a humongous up bow. Even without strings, it had an up bow because this truss rod was never adjusted properly. We do need to conduct a stress test. Okay, so now it's tuned to pitch. Feeler gauges. All right. 8th fret, we need about 11 1/1000ths of an inch. I think this is going to be more than that. Oh, very tight on 13. Look at that. We weren't getting even close to that with the before. So I can't even put 13 on the treble side. So this is really, really promising. Just tighten, just a little touch. And let's see. So 13 is going through now on this side. What about the treble side? Is not. Okay. So this is 13 1/1000ths, not going through. 12 1/1000ths, not going through. Look at that. 11 1/1000ths, not going, or kind of going through, okay? Depending how I tilt this. Okay. 11 1/1000ths. So this is exactly the relief we want to see on the base of a 34-inch scale length, 11 1/1000ths of an inch. But we have more relief on the base side, and that's actually sometimes good. It depends how much more. So I want to measure. 14 is going through. 16 is going through. 18 is going through. So that's a little too much of a differential relief. 20 is also going through. 22 isn't. So 20 1/1000ths. And let's make sure that it didn't settle. So this is it, 20 1/1000ths. Look at that. So we're going to document this, 20 1/1000ths. This is what goes through. If it focuses, yeah, 20 1/1000ths of an inch. Okay, that's too much. And now the 11 1/1000ths is the one that I was able to fit through on the treble side. Let's see if it's still the same or if it's settled somehow. 11. 12 isn't going through. So, all right, so we got 11 1/1000ths and 20 1/1000ths. So we are going to write that down. I'm going to write it down in the history of the instrument. I have a POS system, point of sale system, that has all the tickets listed. So hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so relief. Treble side, what did we say? Treble side, 11 1/1000ths, and bass side, 20 1/1000ths. Okay, so it's got a differential relief. A differential relief can be a good thing, but I think this is a little more than ideal. Now, can we make it work? Possibly. make it work. When I say can we make it work, I mean without doing a full level crown and polish. Possibly. Let's have a look. We're going to sight down the neck. So if I change focus, you can kind of see some dipping here. Look, this is a humongous improvement from where it used to be. So, let me see how it plays. In fact, I'm curious to see what the action is today. The action is easily adjustable, obviously, if the neck is good. Well, it's a bit higher than it needs to be, but it's good for the stress test. All I need to do now is put the pick guard back and put it in the case. It's got a hard case. Okay, and because we're still adjusting everything, what I do is I just put 1.5 turns on each screw. Maybe 2 turns, I guess, I don't know. A text message just came in from another bass player. Good info. Watch the first 10 minutes and look forward to the rest. Yeah. So I have videos on the main channel. The main channel is, well, for all of you not familiar with this channel, so this is Guitar Quackery Live. And the main channel is Guitar Quackery, without the word live in its title. So Guitar Quackery is the main channel of Guitar Quackery. Guitar Quackery. It's small. You can't see it. I publish produced content on Guitar Quackery on YouTube, and on this channel, Guitar Quackery Live, I do live streams. Many of the live streams are for the benefit of the customers, so they can watch me work on their instruments. Full transparency. So whenever I drop a hammer on their guitars, they will see it happen in real time. That's how it is. Okay, this is a good day for this bass. Let's hope that after the stress test, no adjustments will be necessary. That's a possibility. Most likely, I'll need to tighten the truss rod just a little bit. Okay, friends, this is it. This has been 34 minutes of pleasure hanging out with you. This is the most fun I've ever had with my clothes on. Yeah, man. This is a good thing if you work on Fender guitars. It doesn't fit every Fender. It does fit those that have a 3/16 truss rod nut. It's not going to fit every Fender, right? Like I said. But, yeah. Will it fit an Indonesian Fender? I doubt it. I think it's going to be a 4mm on an Indonesian Fender. Okay, let's see. 1 like, 3 watching. That means 2 people did not like this. At its peak, I had 5 people watching. Oh, no, there's 4 people watching, but only 1 like. What are you waiting for? Maybe some people fell asleep watching. That wouldn't surprise me. Okay, next guitar on the bench will be a Gibson SG. It's right here. This is the guitar that I thought I would be putting on the bench, that I mentioned during the previous live stream, that next guitar will be an SG Gibson. Here it is. I already did a level crown and half polish on this. So, beautiful guitar. Yeah. So level crown and no polish. Yeah, okay. Level crown, now we're going to do the polish and buffing. Yeah, it's got fret nibs. Okay. That's what will be on this workbench. Well, it's already on the workbench, but I will be live streaming in a few minutes. Well, I am live streaming now, but I will be live streaming again in a few minutes. So, friends, thank you for watching. If you like this, click like. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can click the link downstairs that says buy me a coffee. Thank you if you do. No worries if you don't. No worries if you can't, or even if you just don't want to. That's fine. We're still friends. But I gotta go, because I gotta get ready for the other live stream. Okay? Thank you, and bye-bye.